Morning, this is a Cuppa with Kay, and I'm in a different environment today, as you may guess. I'm in my office. This is the cabin that I rent from two very good people who are switched on and are ready and willing to help people learn new ways of being. And I think those who are awake will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've started creating a little group of people, community aspect, focused on local people who can help each other through and stop fearing everything that's going on. So that aside, what I'd like to talk about is what's happening today in this world today is unprecedented. Even just 5 years ago, you would never even thought that we could be going through what we're going through right now. It's unimaginable. You cannot, I mean, when I was at work in 2019, I would never have imagined what we're going through today to be the norm. And it's frightening to some people. It's frightening to me occasionally, but I've relaxed into it and I've been searching for ways to be at ease with what's going on. And I found that if you are not fearful of what's going on, then you tend not to attract the bad stuff. If you're neutral about it, then everything seems normal around you. Everything seems okay and it's ticking along and everybody's okay. When I was going through the first situation that we had to face, the whole world together, I was inquisitive. I was trying to figure out ways of living off grid and trying to think, okay, this lifestyle that I've got right now, which was living in the camper van on somebody's drive, then I've got the best of all options, really, because they can't take anything away from me. That was before the petrol prices started going up. Let's get to the point. I would like to know what your thoughts are on it. If you can put in the comments, any view I'll accept. I accept criticism. I will accept any point of view that explores options, that is positive or neutral. Any negative or downgrading comments or any kind of way that makes me feel awful, I'll just deny and block you, because I don't want to enter into any kind of argument that's going to become bitter and embroiled in nastiness. There's no point in that. We've got too much of the fearful aspect of this life at the moment, and this is why I've got the thing in the description that any comments that come through, if you're not an old friend or I know you, if you're a new person, then your comment will come into the algorithm for me to look at, and then if I see it as okay and friendly, then I'll accept it. But if it's nasty, sorry, but I don't want you on my channel. I'm not after, how can I say, loads and loads of people following me. I just want to get the message out there, and if you resonate with it, great, yay, brilliant. Follow me along and tell me your views and have a little conversation with me. And I'm thinking about going live on Wednesday night, because in my community tab, you'll see that if you scroll down, because I've put loads and loads of inspiring quotes down there. But if you scroll right the way down to the beginning, you'll see I've got a little question up there saying, what day of the week would you like me to do a live? And if it proves successful, if you enjoy it and you find it beneficial in any way and you learn something from it, then I might continue it. If not, and it proves to be a damp squid, then we'll give it up and I'll just carry on with these things. I'm just wanting to get the word out there to let people know you don't need to be fearful. And I've found recently a couple of things from two different men who have inspired me. I'll put the links below, but one of them tells you all about copper and its influence on us and plants and everything that's around us. We are missing copper, gold, silver and all those minerals, those elements that encourage the best to plants to flourish and us to heal. They've been taken out of our life, and once you get it back into our life, like if you put a copper wire around a piece of wood, stick it in the ground beside the plant, it grows wonderfully well. And if you put copper in your building, like we used to have copper pipes, then you tend to feel the benefit of it. And people of late are becoming quite sick and quite unwell, and that's all to do with stuff in the water and stuff in the food and lack of vitamins and minerals that are in the food. But I'm not going to go into that right now, because this is going to explore something that you might think is a bit weird. I just got to say that that guy who does all the Cuppa stuff also recommended that you put your phone onto black and white mode. You go into settings and then you go into the colour, or mine I found relatively easy, but it wasn't the way he told me to do it. But just put it all in black and white mode, and the reason for that is when you're looking at these screens, your eyes are being stimulated by these millions and millions and millions of colours. And when you're looking at a big screen, well, on those screens there are millions of pixels. Now he says your eyes are struggling to keep up with all of that, and so it's taxing, and so it makes you feel tired. And also it's got a blue tint to it, and that stimulates your eyes and keeps you awake. So if you're watching any kind of screen activity right up to the minute you go to sleep, then you'll find it difficult to go to sleep. You'll toss and turn all night because your eyes have been stimulated to such a degree that you cannot relax. Now, I've put mine to black and white, and it is boring. And as I'm looking at this unfolding on this, I can't see the colours. But I have tested it. I've downloaded it, and it is in colour. So wonderful. If you want to watch it in black and white, go ahead. You can't see the colours of the sunflowers then, can you? Anyway, that aside, there's another guy, and he has opened my mind to another aspect of the creator. It's nothing to do with any kind of thing that promotes fear or control, or a God that sees you as a sinner. Nothing like that at all. Right. You've got 3 paths, well 4 actually, I think. You can either be what they call an atheist and non-believer and don't believe anything, and once you die, that's it, nothing else. Those types of people tend to, how can I say without being offensive, those without faith don't have any hope, put it like that. And they just live the life and go through the motions and don't particularly worry about what this life is all about. Now, those with a faith do have hope, and that hope makes all the difference. If you can think that there is a creator behind this physical life that we're living, then you tend to act with certain morals. You tend to see the best in people. You tend to see something that tells you we're all human and we're all experiencing this life together. And so you see yourself as part of the humanity of man. I am generalising, because there are the outliers, as Malcolm Gladwell will tell you. But what I'm going to focus on is those who don't necessarily believe in a God, but believe in an afterlife. I mean, you could go to the Buddhist route and say, well, they all believe in reincarnation, and once you've ended your life, you go back into another life. And they have this light that you look into when you die. It's now being considered the reincarnation route. When you die, scientists have shown by probes that have been put onto people's heads as they're dying, that when the body gives up, it gives a last push, a last electrical explosion in the brain, and they say that's what the light is that you're seeing. But those who believe and have near-death experiences see the light as a tunnel that you're travelling down, and then you get to this point and you experience your life history, go to the judgment, and then you go on to life. And they always say that they go to this paradise of a place and they get guided by certain people. And there have been so many of these near-death experiences, NDEs as they call them, that I'm tending to believe that it is true. Okay, but then there are these people who say that when you see the light, what that is that you're going down this tunnel of this light, and you're going so fast you can't see anything, but it's a nice feeling, nice sensation. And when you get to the end, what that light is when your brain is being activated by the REM state, and you're learning all these instincts and being plugged in, basically. And the light ends when you're born. You come out through that birth canal. Then you've got the out-of-body experience. Some people might switch off now, but I hope you don't, because you might learn something, something new. Okay, and that's what I'm all about, trying to teach something new. And I'm always scouring the internet to learn something new, because I like stimulating this. But, okay, well, let's go on with this out-of-body experience. Unlike the near-death experience, this out-of-body experience happens when you're in the dream state. Your body goes into slow wave sleep and REM sleep. Now, we all know what REM sleep is all about. It's all about the dream process, rapid eye movement. And when your eyes are rapidly moving, that means you're looking at all the visual images that are going by in your dreams, okay? What happens is, in slow wave sleep state, you are like a battery on recharge and re-energize it, so to speak. And that's what slow wave sleep does for your body. It repairs everything that's broken or bent or done, damage to, and it also regenerates all the cells. It puts all the sugars and the glucose back into the brain, so that when you wake up the next morning, you think, yes, I've got another day, yay, wonderful. But if you have a lot of REM sleep, that takes away the slow wave sleep. The ideal situation is to have that much REM slow wave sleep, okay, and just this much REM sleep. Now, the more REM sleep you have, the less slow wave sleep you have. And so that takes away the energy that you're building up. It doesn't have the chance to rebuild your battery, recharge you for the next day. So that's why you wake up drained and tired. And why do you have more REM sleep than slow wave sleep? Wow, that's to do with your emotion. If you are experiencing a lot of anxieties throughout the day, like if you've got a horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach because somebody said something, or your heart's beating really fast because you don't want to go somewhere and you have to go and do it, or if your brain is full of thoughts and thinking, why did they say that to me? Am I really that kind of person? I don't know. It sounded really horrible. Why did they do that? It's all these thoughts racing around your brain, thinking about other people and what they think about you. For every one of those emotions that you experience, what happens is that the brain has to create a metaphorical message, a dream, so to speak, to release that emotion. So if you're not a very worried person, then you won't have very many dreams, and you'll have the regular slow wave sleep. But if you're worried throughout the day, for each one of those worries and anxiety feelings, sensations that you go through, you'll have a dream to release that emotion. So if you have more of those and you're being anxious all day long, your brain has to work hard at creating a metaphorical message, a dream, that helps you to release that emotion. All very complicated. So if you wake up really drained and tired and can't get out of bed, and you're feeling really low and depressed, that's one of the reasons. Okay, and I could give you loads of answers on how to stop that from happening, but we're not going to go down that route today. It's about the near-death experiences and the out-of-body experiences. It's not about faith. It's not about this physical life. It's all about the other possible life that possibly is there. This guy has explained it so well. I'll put the link below, because I listened to it and I thought, wow, now that makes an awful lot of sense. Basically what he's saying is, when you have an out-of-body experience, what's happening is you're going into this state whereby you can leave your body, your spirit, your consciousness, your soul, whatever you think it is, that is not part of this physical matter, this meat suit that we're in. What happens is that comes out of you in your dream state and goes into another realm. So your dreams are possibly real. That guy is actually saying that this physical matter, this meat suit that we've got here, this world that we're living in on this earth, is a game, is a simulation, so to speak, that these other realms are watching unfold. And one question kept coming around and around and around all the time to me, and he answered it later on in the video. He said that the reason why they created this life that we lead, that we're experiencing right now, that we think is really real, but it's not, is so that they could learn the difference between opposing views, opposites. And right now, the world is going through so many contrasts that it's coming to its end. The game is almost over, and everybody is in the other realm watching this unfold, is just waiting for the end to happen. And those who have died along the way, Dolores Cannon, I think, she thinks that we're in a game, we're in a simulation, and all the people who are around us are non-player characters. They only become proper characters when they interact with you. The non-player characters are, if you're walking around a shopping centre, you walk through a horde of people and you are the central character, and all these other characters that you see around you that you don't interact with, they are non-player characters. If you interact with one of them, they're a key character. They're in the game, so to speak. And the non-player characters are there just to make it seem real. Now, all these people who are dying around you that you do not have any contact with, they are non-player characters showing you the way to end the game, so to speak. It all seems very complicated, but it seems fascinating. I don't think it's going to take me away from this creator aspect, because somebody had to create the game anyway, didn't they? Somebody had to create those people, those beings in the other realm, in the other world. And what he's saying is, when you come out of your body, which he says is quite easy to do after you've practiced it a few times, but there's a caveat involved there, that you have to have a fit body to do it. Because when you are going off out into this other world, you're taking in so much information that is like sparking all your electricity circuits in your body, and over there, it's okay to have that information because you're able to take it in, because anything is possible there, and you're able to get involved in anything, know anything, do anything at any time, any moment, and there's no past, present or future. It's all happening now. Now that is quite a difficult concept to grasp, but if you can look at it like this, it's like stepping stones across a brook. Our life is past, present and future. Every stone we step across is the present. We're on the stone, it's the present. We're on the next stone, it's the present. The previous stone we stepped off of, is the past. The one ahead in front of us is the future. Okay, so we go through life like that. What they do in this other realm, in this out-of-body experience, you've got clay in front of you and you're making a pot, and you put your fingers inside and you open it up. Inside is all these things happening all at once, and you're thinking, wow, that's a mixture of things, and you're putting all these, you could put loads of liquids, different coloured liquids inside it, and you could stir it all around. That's what that other realm is like. Everything's happening right now. There's no past, present or future. He described it in another way, but that's the way I feel comfortable explaining it. The reason why you have to be fit or healthy in order to do this thing is because you're gathering all that information from that other realm and taking it all in throughout all the cells in your body. And when you come back to this physical matter that we've got here, it's way too much for it to cope with. We always wonder why we can't remember previous lives. And that's because your memory has been whittled right down to something that this brain can cope with. I mean, it's difficult enough to remember what happened yesterday or this morning, let alone what happened in a previous lifetime 10,000 years ago. And it would be wonderful to think, oh yeah, I used to be so-and-so in another life and I died like this. But the thing is, what happens is that if you go out there and you come back and you haven't got a fit body, what happens is that when you wake up to the reality of this life, you have flu-like symptoms. You have a drained kind of energy. You've been on overload. You've been drunk basically, and you're waking up with a hangover, and it takes a couple of days to get used to it and get over it basically. So if you're unfit and you do it, don't think what would happen. Okay, that got me thinking about, if this world, this game, this simulation as they call it, is soon to be over, then perhaps, and it's no excuse, okay, it's no excuse for them, perhaps this is why the elitists are wanting to kill us all off, because that's their part in the game. Their part is to bring about the end of the simulation, and the way that they see they can do it is to end all of these lives through certain chemicals that they put in you to let you go on to another life. End this, because we don't want to go through it anymore. I think that's a cruel way of doing it. That's just me. Oh, who am I? I'm not the creator, am I? I am a person that's in this game, this simulation. It's just my experience. But I often wonder why. Okay, why do they want to have no end to life? Why are they looking for immortality in this life? Do they not want the game to end? Do they want all of us to be killed off so that they can have this world to themselves with the robots they're creating? It doesn't make any sense to me, that aspect of it. Because if they know what is going on through all these books that have been written that are hidden in the Vatican archives, the thing is, the key takeaway here is to not have the fear. Don't allow the fear aspect to take over. Because if you fear something, it's like a magnet. When you've got a magnet and it's resonating with each other, they cling together and they stay together like that, and they hard to pull them apart. But if you've got opposing magnets, it's hard to push them together. No matter how hard you try, you cannot touch the other one. They will not touch. How can I explain it? This is a world of opposites. This is a world of contrasts. And that's the key thing. Maybe it's because I don't fear anything really. If I become like a magnet that is pulling together rather than repelling, then anything is possible. But if I fear, the magnet is repelling what is possible. So a near-death experience is when you actually stop your heart, stop breathing, brain stops being active, and your soul just exits your body and goes up to wherever this channel of light is, and goes through this motion of the creator and being encouraged to take one route or the other. And you can either be reincarnated or you can go into paradise and heaven and or hell. And then there's out-of-body experience, which you can do yourself through training yourself to consciously relax into your dream state and try to be conscious through it. If you go to sleep and then you keep consciously thinking about what's happening in your body, it slows down and your breathing slows down to such a rate that is almost like a death state, I guess. And then your heart rate slows down, and then you go into the dream state and everything speeds up again because it's going through those emotions. If you can consciously do it, then you can consciously see this other realm, which is another world inside another world inside another world, which seems like really complicated. But if everything is possible and you can do anything, then you won't think it's weird. Initially, at first, when you first enter it, you'll think, wow, what is this? And the less you fear, the more you experience. The less you are frightened and the more accustomed you become of it, the more you can see, the more you can feel, sense and hear, or use all the senses in addition to the ones that we've got here. Think of that realm, or those realms I should say, as more than what is here. He said that you become more dense. We think we're physical here with this physical suit that we've got, the bones and the flesh and the muscles and everything that's making us up. But over there, it's more. What he said, it's more dense. So maybe it's more of a sensation, more of a feeling. I've not a clue because I haven't done it myself, and it does frighten me because I keep thinking, oh, okay, this is a crazy situation to be in. Will I get back and whatever? But that's the key, not to fear. And if you fear, you won't go far. And if you fear in this life, you push things away. If you are worried, if you're frightened, if you're anxious about something, it's like putting out that vibration that says, go, don't come near me. It's like the magnet that repels. Anyway, I've gone on a bit too long. I thought this would be a short video. And I want to know what you think. Whether you think this is all gobbledygook, crap, whatever, or if you think it's got some validity. I mean, has it convinced you that there is another life after this? Are you no longer an atheist? Do you believe in a creator now? Or do you think, no, okay, this is the end of it. Once your body's gone, it's gone. Or do you look forward to something that is wonderfully exciting and new. I can't wait to get to those Akashic records, that big library in the sky. I love my books. And I want to go and experience that. To be a librarian in that world would be, I bet they've got more books than the bloody Vatican anyway. And I just love learning. But anyway, let me know what you think. Whether you think this is all gobbledygook, pile of shite, or whether there is some validity to it. And what your thoughts are, if they're completely different to this. I'd love to know. Anyway, I'm going to get on with my job, because I've got a load of paperwork to do right now. And next video, probably in the camper van again. Okay, bye for now.